Hey there. Thank you so much for pressing play and hanging out with me for a couple minutes. I know that you are interested in finding a 200-hour yoga teacher training program, and I know that you have tons of options that are available to you out there. But I hope that you stay with me for the next couple minutes because I've been doing this for a really long time. I have certified hundreds of students all across the world over the last 15 years. And I would love to tell you a little bit about what you might find in terms of yoga teacher training programs and a little bit about our program and why I think our program sets us apart from others. Once you're done watching this video, you could scroll down below and check out everything that our program has to offer. But I hope you hang out with me for the next couple of minutes because I'm really happy that you're here and I just kind of want to go over all of that information with you. Like I said, I know that there's tons of programs out there for you to choose from, and there's all different ways for you to learn in terms of a 200-hour yoga teacher training program. You could do one of the alternating weekend programs. I used to do that for years and years and years, teach those kinds of programs. They're amazing, but it does require you to spend your entire weekend, every other weekend, in that setting, and it can be incredibly exhausting. You can go travel somewhere to India, Costa Rica, a yoga retreat center somewhere, and you can do a program where you're there for 3 weeks up to a month, and you could do your training that way. I've done that too, and that one is also amazing, though incredibly expensive, and it takes you away from your life, your family, your work, all of those things. And so that's not the best option for most people, though it is for some, and I think it is a very beautiful one. And now you also have the opportunity to do many trainings online. And there's tons of them out there, many of them priced very inexpensively because people can throw these things together and put them online and sort of churn out dozens and dozens of people. And for years, I thought that there was no way you could possibly do a 200-hour yoga teacher training in the online setting. And I was so against it. I poo-pooed it up until the world started to change. And I realized that I had to figure out a way to change with it. And over the course of the last 3 or 4 years have been developing these online trainings. And I have to say that taking 23 years of teaching yoga and Eastern philosophy and packaging them up and handing them to people has honestly been one of the most comprehensive ways we've been able to offer this information, because we can give you so much more information in this type of setting than we could actually in the studio setting. And so I have come to love this type of training. But what I found was most important in developing these trainings was setting it apart from others. Because what I was seeing was all of these online trainings out there, and those online trainings were missing the mark in a couple different areas. And we'll talk about that in a second. But first, let me tell you about me. Very quickly, my name is Jess, and I am one of the founding directors here at Direct Path Institute. Like I said, I've been teaching yoga, Eastern philosophy, meditation, mindfulness for the last 23 years. I've been a practitioner for 25 years. And like many of you, I took a traditional route. I went to college, I got a corporate job, and in the corporate world, I realized pretty quickly that that was not my calling. That wasn't what my body, my mind, my heart was longing for. And at just 28 years old, I left the corporate world and I was the founding director of the Om Center. And I was at the Om Center for 15 years. I just sold it recently, about a year ago. And in that time, I developed this very large, bustling yoga studio and had this incredible opportunity to teach all over the world. I have taught retreats, yoga teacher trainings, 200 and 300-hour trainings in Thailand, in Costa Rica, in Belize, Hawaii, with the big trees of California, the red rocks of Sedona. I've been everywhere, and I've had students and have certified students all over the world. And one of the beautiful things about being in that world and really diving in completely is that I have both aspects. I have really studied and studied and studied over the course of the last 25 years. And I take all of those studies and I hand them to you. I am a complete open book. If you ask me a question, I will give you the answer. I am so happy to share this knowledge with you, because what's important to me is that teachers that come out of my trainings have a very holistic approach to the way that they use these practices, and they understand the ins and outs in all different directions. The other thing is that I'm a business person, and I have always had a knack for the business world. I worked in the corporate world, and one of the biggest mistakes that I made for many years in these trainings was I wasn't providing enough of that information to my students. Yes, I was teaching them to be really good yoga teachers, but I wasn't really helping them to understand how to find students, how to understand their audience, how to create niches, and how to do things outside of just a studio practice. And so that's something that I've changed over the years, is that I've taken these programs, 200 and 300-hour yoga teacher trainings, and I've tailored them to you by creating these mentoring experiences. The mentoring experiences happen on a monthly and on a weekly basis. So, yes, all of this training is completely self paced. You get to do all of your programs at your own pace. And they're from the comfort of your own home. You could be sitting in a coffee shop somewhere, and you have lifetime access. You get to go in and do this work whenever you want to. And if life gets in the way and you have to stop for a minute and go back in, you have every opportunity to do that. But what you also have the opportunity to do is be in community, because we've added this small group cohort aspect to the training. And right now we're registering for our September 2024 cohort. And we're in early registration, which means that you save hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars by registering in the next couple weeks. When you join that cohort, you meet with me monthly. And when we meet, it's about 3 or 4 hour meeting. We give you two options: a weekend morning and a weekday evening. You could do one or both of those evenings, and you get together with your group via Zoom, and we go over everything that you're learning. Everybody's going to be in a different place, but we answer all of your questions. We do group check-ins and breakout sessions, and um, you have teaching opportunities, and we go over all of that. We also have weekly Q&A calls. So every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, there is a Q&A call available for anything that you need. So we get to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. The other thing that happens in these mentoring sessions is that I actually teach you to go beyond just flowing movement in a studio setting. I teach you how to apply these things in perhaps the career that you already have. So if you're a school teacher, a therapist, a life coach, you work in the corporate world, you're a police officer, it doesn't matter what it is that you do, but I can teach you how to incorporate these skills into your work or create programming in the career that you're already in. For those of you who are there to deepen your personal practice, I guide you along that journey as well and give you the tools that you need to really sink in and settle in, to make these life changes, to acquire all of these skills, and to see how you can take all of these practices and incorporate them in your day-to-day life, and just sort of shift and move in the way that your body and your mind and your heart is asking for. So, what sets us apart from other trainings is that you get to work directly with me. And if you do want to choose your own path, if you want a quieter journey that is completely self paced, we do give you that opportunity as well. You could find that below. And we call that the do it yourself option. And you get still access to all of those weekly Q&A calls. You get access to the same modules, but you just don't get that one-on-one mentoring aspect with me or and the community. But if you're looking for that community aspect, if you're looking for a true teacher and a mentor, and if you're looking to fully and completely dive in, if you want to understand history and philosophy in a real way, not just this westernized version of what you see in a yoga studio, but where all of this stuff actually came from. If you want to dive into movement, meditation, breath work, if you want to understand Buddhism, yogic philosophy, and how to apply those things into your life, into your family, into your work, into your potential as someone who works in the field of wellness, mindfulness, meditation, and yoga, then this is an absolutely appropriate training for you. So you'll see down below, like I said, we're in that early registration period, and that registration period ends either when the class fills up. We keep our classes really small. Space is actually very limited right now, but we close that when either the space fills up or July 15th, whichever one comes first. And so take a look below. You'll see all of the information that you need there. Right now, you could take advantage of those early registration savings. It's the best tuition rate that we have to offer. There is so much value behind it and so much that I will hand to you within this training. If you've watched this video, if you read everything below and you're like, I want to talk to you, I want to know more about this, I want to understand more before I sign up for anything, you'll see a link right down below directly to my calendar. You could have a one-on-one conversation right with me. And whether you take a training with me or you take a training somewhere else, I am so happy to be there to support you on your journey. That is the work that I do. That is what I love. There is no obligation if you sign up and take that call with me. So take my time, let us have a conversation together, see where all of this stuff can lead you. And no matter what, I wish you the very, very best of luck on your journey.